In my opinion, over the last few years, Callaway have been known as one of the most improved brands when it comes to driver. And in today's video, we're going to test the last 3 generations of Callaway drivers and see just which one gives more bang for their buck. So guys, let me roll it back a little bit to 2001. And we saw the Callaway Epic Speed driver. This is the Callaway Epic Speed LS. Now at the time, I remember being a little bit disappointed with this because it was kind of a couple of years after the Epic Flash. Now the Epic Flash for me was the driver that started to really change the game. It was the first driver with AI design flash face. It was the first driver with lots of more technology to help it just perform that bit better. And again, it was named after the Epic. The Epic was I've got to say it, an epic club. But I personally feel like Callaway were a little bit lazy with this Epic Speed, with the marketing of it, with the name of it. But then you kind of look down at it, you see those flashes of green, you see the movable weight technology, which I have in standard, and you also see the jailbreak AI speed frame, and you think, you know what, I get it. It worked, and it'll probably work again. And I must admit guys, half of this video we are going to be inside the Golf Zone simulator, and I've already tested these for numbers, and you're going to want to stay tuned because it's really quite interesting. Now, how do they perform out on the golf course? I mean, that as a starter, I love that low penetrating flight. That was absolutely gorgeous. One thing I didn't really like about the Epic Speed was that sound. It was a little bit, well, still is a little bit, yeah. Then a year later, we saw the release of the Callaway Rogue ST line. Now, I really liked this. Again, wasn't a huge fan of the colouring system, of the kind of gold accents and stuff. It reminded me very much of Wolverhampton Wanderers. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but if you're English and you like your football, you'll know what I mean. Again, lots of use of carbon here, still jailbreak AI speed frame. We still have that AI flash face that you can see there. You can also see I've been testing this for off-centre hits. But for me, this was a bit of an improvement on the Epic Speed. It looks a little bit better. The kind of offset looks a little bit better as well. This is, again, the low spin model. I have all 3 in low spin, so it's a fair test. And the big thing for me here was that matte head design. It just looks, sorry, I had to interrupt myself from pulling the trigger there, because as you can see, it looks absolutely gorgeous. I think if you would have my Callaway'd it or custom garaged it, or however they say you do it, and put different colours on it, I think it would have been an absolute winner for quite a lot of people. I remember playing golf with Peter Finch at Troon. He had one of these and he hit it absolutely incredibly. Totally different ball flight to the Epic, but I'm going to be interested to see which one's longer there, because we're into a tiny bit of wind, and that for me is my safe shot, a lovely high fade, pretty much straight down the middle of the fairway. Now, the elephant in the room here is the name of the next driver. And we all know the name of the next driver because it's the current driver. Paradigm. And I have been quite vocal about my opinion on the Callaway Paradigm this year, especially the triple diamond version. So this isn't an LS version, this is 1, 2, 3 triple diamond, and this is basically the replacement for the low spin model. And I think this is probably the fastest driver I've ever tested, and I've tested pretty much every driver for the last 3 or 4 years. So that's a big claim to make, but you match that with a phenomenal spin rate and a gorgeous launch angle, and that is what you get. I mean, that, let's be fair, that's just a ridiculous ball flight, isn't it? I'm going to be interested to see if it just feels hotter, because although I've compared this against the TaylorMade Stealth 2, against the Cobra Aerojet, against the Ping G430, I'm yet to test it against the previous Callaway options from previous years. So as you're probably well aware by now, that's what we're doing today. And the really interesting factor about all 3 of these drivers is the Epic Speed, the Rogue ST, they both had a triple diamond version, but they were a tour only version. You really kind of struggle to get them unless you're in the tour department. Now Callaway have gone, you know what, triple diamond, everyone can have it. And I'm quite amazed at how many people it does suit as well. It isn't just the kind of really high club edge speed golfers. It tends to be working for people who you wouldn't suspect. So guys, make sure you do hit that subscribe button if you are new here and if you haven't done already. And also, we're going to jump in the Golf Zone simulator and see just how much difference there really is. And I'm well aware I've tried to match outfits up today and I've put the wrong shorts on. So if you've commented that already, they're in the wash. They're in the wash. The hoodie has been washed. but they're still in the wash. Right, so I can see 3 golf balls, which is always a great start when you are testing drivers. And I think the Rogue ST and the Paradigm might be a little bit closer than what I anticipated, but then how much benefit would you expect from one generation newer driver, even with that 360 carbon wrap, which has been a bit of a game changer for Callaway. I hold my hands up. In fact, there's a bit of distance there, isn't there? We're gonna go straight there. We're gonna go straight there. So as you can see, we have Rogue ST, which is the nearest ball to me, and I am bang level now with it. So both balls are on the fairway. Would you say that's about kind of 5 yards? I think it most probably is, and we are into the wind here as well, so quite interesting to see that it has penetrated through the wind a little bit better and stayed straighter, which for a triple diamond, which is supposed to be a bit of a beast, very interesting. Obviously ground conditions can come into play here. Is it a little bit wetter on this side of the fairway? Maybe. The Epic Speed is up in this fairway bunker over here, so that has missed the fairway, but it's up there with these two. So I think this could get rather interesting. Remember when I said that I've been in the Golf Stand Simulator? Yes, the shorts are wrong, but we've got some interesting numbers. Maybe there's something in the old boy after all. Don't sleep on the Epic Speed, not just yet. And for me, what's also interesting here is it never used to be, well, it never used to be quite like this. Callaway have had a little bit of a checkered past when it comes to drivers, such as the FT and the XR, and I mean, the Maverick was all right, but the name was absolutely awful and the colour scheme was even worse. So just what can Callaway put all the success in the latest drivers down to? I think they can definitely put it down to a fantastic R&D team. I was lucky enough to go over to the States in California and check out Callaway HQ. It is a phenomenal place to be if you ever get invited. They've got a great team there as well. They've got a great marketing team, great R&D team, as I mentioned, and really, really good ideas moving forward, not just with clubs, but with golf ball, with marketing strategies such as working with guys like Bob Does Sports and with Good. But I also think there's something else that they can put it down to. And Callaway probably won't thank me for saying this, but I think it's true. I think a big reason, 1 minute. Oh yeah, hold your line. That's deep. I think a big reason has to be other brands such as TaylorMade, such as Ping, such as Titleist, all making fantastic drivers. For instance, while TaylorMade was making the M1, the M2, the M3, the M4, Callaway wasn't quite cutting it. So all of a sudden, there was a little bit of a change. This is the Rogue ST, by the way. I think this is the better looking one, you know, on top. I really do enjoy that look on top. Oh, that is an absolute bomb. That honestly is it? Oh, that is frightening along. I think all these brands are pushing each other forwards, and I for one absolutely love that, because we are pushing boundaries, we're testing different materials, we're testing different weight ideologies, and I'm now going to test this one, because this one, like I keep saying, you can pick up for a bit of a deal now, and the numbers, maybe there's something in the old boy after all. I mean, don't get me wrong, if you miss-hit it, you're probably going to lose a bit on the new Paradigm or even off the Rogue ST. But if you get it out of the screws, hopefully like this one. Oh yes, oh yeah. It could just be the best bargain driver you never thought about trying. I'm probably not going to title the video that, but I might do, because I feel like it's true. And you know what, another point in this video as well, and I think this is something which is massively overlooked by the majority of people, is just how good the adjustable necks are on these clubs. You'll see I've got all 3 of them in 9 degrees. You'll see I've got all of them in the neutral and square settings, but the ability to be able to play around with this hosel, to put 2 degrees of loft on, to be able to take loft off, to be able to close the face, open the face, all whilst keeping it nice and square to the shaft band, is absolute genius. It really is. I'm sorry I said you weren't the best looking one. It does look good, doesn't it? You know what, I don't know. And I mean, already looking down there, I can see 3 golf balls, which they're 3 of the best golf swings I've probably put on a golf ball this year, and just look how consistent they all are. I'm pretty sure Paradigm is that middle one. I'm pretty sure the Epic Flash is the left one, and I'm pretty sure the Rogue ST is the one on the right-hand side. So let's get down there and see if there's a difference, if any. I think it's fair to say, with the ground being a tiny bit moist, There's not a lot in all three of those drives, is there? Look at those. And I've not left myself too far in to that green either. But this is a comparison, it is a test, and with every test there has to be a winner. So this one's Rogue ST, the middle one's Paradigm, and that one up there is the Epic Speed. So I'm going to give the Epic Speed this one. And I do think when you get it out of the middle, just like I did on that one, it's fantastic, which is what I'm going to show you now with the numbers, because I hit some which, well, yeah, you have to see them to believe them. Well, yeah, you just have to be there. But then we're going to jump back out here and we're going to put one more hole to the test with these array of Callaway drivers. Now, on-course testing is all good and well, but I'm well aware that so many of you will be waiting to see the numbers on the Golf Zone simulator for the Callaway Epic, the Rogue ST, and of course, the Paradigm driver. Now, for me, I really enjoyed this test both out on the golf course and on the simulator because I love seeing the numbers, but I also love seeing just what kind of bounces. That was a really good one, actually. Maybe there's something in the old boy after all. And that's right, that was the Epic. So for me, I hit loads and loads of shots here. I'm not going to show you them all because I think it's a waste of time just seeing golf swings, especially my golf swing. But for me, I really did find that if I get all these clubs out the middle, there was no real difference. Like the longest ones were all very, very similar. They were pitching between 275 and 280, which for me is standard. The higher ones were pitching just kind of above 280. The Paradigm, I had one that pitched kind of 281. And that for me, I would expect from the Paradigm because it is one of the best drivers I've ever tested for ball speed and for low spin rates. Unfortunately, yeah, not quite for forgiveness. That wasn't one of the best ones, but we like to leave them in. So what were the numbers like with these drivers? I mean, look at this one as well. That is the one. Right there. Yes, please. So numbers-wise, you can see ball speed's very, very similar. The Paradigm just edging it at 161.2. Also, the Paradigm was the lowest spin at 2131. The Epic actually spun less than the Rogue ST, which I didn't anticipate, and had more ball speed than the Rogue ST. Very similar numbers carry-wise, as you can see, though, 277 for the Epic, 275 for the Rogue ST. I must have not hit that quite as well or as consistently, because they both felt quite good. Paradigm 281, so again, quite a high carry distance for me there, obviously resulting in more total distance. For me, these results are very marginal. There's a mile-an-hour ball speed in it here, there's a yard carry in it there, and there's a couple of RPM. Spin rate distance, guys, get in the comments below, which one would you choose for the budget that you can now get these drivers at? Okay, so whilst this is a factual, very scientific and informational based channel, I also like to think it's a little bit entertaining. So, you join us on a drivable par 4 with 3 drivers and 3 golf balls. Each golf ball will be assigned to a driver, assigned to a driver, and we're going to see which one can get closest to the flag. Ball number, let's start with number 1 because that's a great place to start. Ball number 1 will be assigned to the Callaway Paradigm Triple Diamond. And I've just realised, as a matter of fact, I really struggle to say the word assigned. So, without any further ado, the green is just over there somewhere. Which one's going to take the biscuit? Guys, what did you think of the numbers as well? Get in the comments below and let me know what you thought. This needs to be a good one. Be good. That was toe it. It's the perfect line. And I haven't heard it clip anything, which is a good thing. Right, the next ball is ball number 3. That is going on the Rogue ST, because it sort of rhymes so I can remember it in my head. Ball 3, Rogue ST. We need to get this a little bit more out the middle, I do think. Oh, that is left. That's, I mean, it's going to be long enough, but that's literally left us with about 60 yards in. I can't blame the driver, that is down to the pilot, unfortunately. Maybe we needed the Maverick instead to get it pilot. Anyway, right, Epic Speed 4. Ball number 4, Epic Speed. Come on. Really disappointed with that last one. But like I said, when you get this out the screws, can it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, be good. I'm saying be good like I'll be able to see the result till we get round there. I certainly won't, but I've hit this Epic Speed really, really well in this video. Is that because it maybe makes me concentrate a bit more because I have to do? Probably not, but I'm enjoying myself, so. And just before we check these final results, the big elephant in the room, the big question, the big title of this video, have Callaway drivers really got any better? And I think the answer to that has to be yes, because for me, the Paradigm Triple Diamond is certainly one of the best drivers I've ever tested, never mind a Callaway driver. And I always think of it similar to kind of like F1 cars and things like that. You can only tweak them so much, you only get a little bit more out of them each time. And if you can get a little bit more out of them each time, then that is progress. You're never going to see a 10, 20, 30 yard gain now unless you're in a really, really wrongly, poorly fitted driver and then into a really perfect driver for you. So have they got better? Yeah, they have. Have they got good enough to maybe change your Rogue ST into a Paradigm, or even change your Epic Speed into a Rogue or whatever? That's the real question. Because that starts talking about people's budget and finances and how much you really want out of your golf game. Could you make the most out of all three of these drivers? I think you probably could. So although this Rogue ST was a little bit left, it fills me with confidence because it is more than flag high, and actually as we do look towards the green I can see one just on the cusp. It's not quite on the green, but it's probably a little bit further away than what it looks. That's right at the back of the green. Which one is going to be closest? Ball number 3, which as we know is the Rogue ST, because it kind of, sort of, it doesn't really rhyme, does it? But anyway. And then we do have a ball on the green. The bunker was shielded initially, but I think that one, I feel like it has to be the Paradigm because it was a much better, just a better line, wasn't it? Right. I mean, it's for an eagle, so we'll, you know what, we'll try and knock it in with a driver. Which one's which? Both very similar distances. Remember, we've come over these trees here, so that one did leak a little bit. I'm pretty sure this is going to be a number 1 ball, and it is. So that is the Paradigm. That one wins the test, which means that one's going to be a 4, which I will show you on screen now. Not that I can zoom in that close, but guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you do smash that subscribe button. Let me know what do you think to, well, Callaway drivers as a whole. This is for an eagle. And apart from that, I'll see you all at the same time tomorrow. If I'd have hit that, it would have gone in. That's really annoying. Birdie.